1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He was also the first person to see how ships' compasses were acting strangely and inaccurate in an area just off the coastline of the West Indies. Over 500,000 square miles where boats and planes just disappeared into thin air. This place is known as the Bermuda Triangle, with 75 aircrafts and hundreds of boats just gone missing in the past 25 years. The triangle remains a mystery, with nothing lying on its surface or below it. Some say Atlantis was in this location. Some say it's giant sea monsters. Some say it's UFOs that abduct vessels traveling the waters. What is known to be true is of Flight 19 and its 5-man crew that disappeared into thin air on December the 5th, 1945. A 5-man flight team was on a routine training mission to fly over the Bahamas and return in 2 hours. They never returned. Some say broken radio communications and faulty instruments were the cause of this. A pilot from the rescue team, George Reiderman, says there's nothing strange that happened here. They ran out of fuel and crashed into the sea. But others on the same rescue team recall never seeing any debris on the surface of the water. Flight 19 is the first documented disappearance over the Bermuda. December the 4th, 1970. 10,000 feet above the Bahamas, a strange fog engulfs Bruce Gerners. While in this fog, Gerners' instrument panel just went crazy. His altimeter was reading he was 20,000 feet above sea level. Looking at his window, he could see this wasn't the case. Gerners saw lines of clouds with sparkling light. He believed these lines to be time itself. Gerners believes he flew through a separate dimension while traveling through the Bermuda. Gerners was able to make it back to land, and with the help of meteorologist David Pors, they began an investigation. They gathered the fog as the cause of all the planes and ships to go missing in the Bermuda. Pors also believed that the fog has an electrical current that is caused by solar weather. Pors decided to take a closer look at the weather on the day Flight 19 disappeared, and it turned out to be identical to the same weather when Bruce Gerners was surrounded by fog and nearly lost his life. Mainstreaming scientists still do not believe in the electronic fog theory. Others say the vessels are out there. It's just a matter of someone going and looking for them. Dr. Laura and Greg Little, underwater explorers, are some of those people. They say it's hard to explore in a very largely unexplored area. During their dive in the Bermuda, they found debris from a 1948 DC-3, which is the same model as the military DC-3 that went missing in 1949. The Littles continue to believe that all the vessels are still on the sea floor, just waiting to be discovered. As many scientists have pointed out, along with Dr. Littles, the current is very strong in this triangle, making it very difficult to predict and to explore. Debris from anything will quickly be washed away in multiple directions. Tim Peters, a marine engineer, tested another theory of the Bermuda Triangle. His theory is of the methane gas bubbles. In his theory, he says methane gas bubbles rise to the surface and cause the density of the water to drop, making a pocket for a ship to be lowered into and filled with water. He did an experiment using a model of USS Poet, a ship that went on voyage in the area along with its 32 crew and was never heard from again. His findings were methane gas bubbles would indeed break a ship in half or swallow it down to the floor of the ocean due to the density of the surrounding area. Gary Bart also tested methane gas theory. He tested it on the effects of planes. Using a flight simulator, Bart found that when traveling through methane gas, his altimeter shows a doubled or higher altitude. Trusting his instruments, Bart starts to descend to remain at his 10,000 feet above sea level, only to crash before he even gets close. Through his research, he found that methane gas could easily be the explanation for how planes crash into the ocean. Altimeters tell you what your elevation is by measuring the air pressure around you. And since methane gas is thinner than oxygen, this would explain why BARC's instruments, along with Flight 19's instruments, went haywire and gave them the wrong readings. Some say it's rogue waves that cause ships to sink. Others say it's UFOs or giant sea monsters. The one fact that is to remain true is that no one has found solid proof to support any theory. And this will remain one of the world's most interesting mysteries ever, and may never be solved. Here's some of my visual aids. The Bermuda Triangle is located in a triangle formation off the coast of Miami, Florida, going down to Puerto Rico and up to the small island of Bermuda, as seen here. Here are some of the ships that went missing, along with the aircrafts. And this concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
Chelsea?